Hey everyone, it's Mindy and Chris here. I'm in Austin visiting him. We've had a really busy 2 days at an event here in Austin. It's really amazing to see how so many people are really trying to create awareness and help their community and even here statewide help us with what we're doing, and we're helping them at the same time. I really encourage people to get to as many vendor events and be an exhibitor as possible, because this really helps you with your public speaking. It helps you get your name out there. It helps show on social media that you are committed to what you're doing. And we have some really great people that we met. I didn't tally it up today, but yesterday when Angela, who's on the call, and Gary and I all ran the Monday, we got 49 contacts. And Chris and I went today, and I think it was a little bit slower because it was the second day, but we think around 20, 25. And we built relationships.
And I got asked to do a fit club or workouts weekly with UT, University of Texas, and a location for the University of, or A&M University.
And a lot of people were also telling us about, asking if we would come and do a lunch and learn. And so again, this is a way to build your public speaking, get your name out there. And Chris had this amazing opportunity that came. We had a body composition analysis machine there, and I started telling the lady about Beachbody. She's like, "Oh, I know exactly who you are," because she's in LA and she has two machines in both Beachbody offices, corporate offices in Southern California. So she was familiar. So we built a relationship. She was talking. She knows how corporate is. And then Chris was talking about, the fit club that he runs out of his garage, and for his little community, and it's open to anybody. She let him take this machine that is worth $8,400 home for a couple weeks to use the printer, the setup, and everything. And I truly believe it's because people, if they're involved in Beachbody, especially if they go to the corporate offices, they understand we operate with integrity and that we are honest people and that we do good. So for me, that just proved that everything we work so hard for is so evident in our reputation. And the same thing goes for you as a coach, is build your reputation, build your integrity, and people trust you, and your business will definitely succeed because of that. So just a couple of announcements. We're less than a month out from Summit. I did see today in the elite group that they have actually lifted the requirement on the stadium bag. So that kind of helps us out, because I know a lot of people are freaking out trying to think, what's the point of bringing a little teeny bag? So that's good news if you are going to Summit. Also, make sure that if you haven't already, that you registered for your track if you're going to Summit. I don't know where we're at, but if you don't get registered and they've all been selected, they will put you in whatever's available. That makes it tough if you're traveling with people on your team or a spouse or somebody else. So make sure you do that. Early bird always gets the worm. So tomorrow also is the last day for the summer sale. Go to the people who really have financial issues and they really want to get in shape, do something, but they can't afford a challenge pack, because I think so many people focus so much on challenge packs and success club points that they really lose sight of the fact that we're wanting to help people and we're wanting to get them, acquainted with our products in challenge groups and help them become a proof that the products work. 10-Minute Trainer is one of my favorite programs. It's what I got so many of my first rock star coaches started on. As a coach, you can get it for basically $30, or as a customer, $40. So it's very affordable. And for me, I purchased a couple of them to give as gifts and things in the future. So make sure that you're promoting it. There's e-cards in the Coach Online office. If you have automatic CO, you can send stuff through there. So anyways, today we have my really good friend, Seay Stanford, who really took me in under her wing and has been kind to me from the start. Our husbands are crazy. Neil swears that Ryan's crazier than him, but they are a hoot when they get together. And it's been amazing to watch Seay grow, and I've watched her lovingly and selflessly share with our team, Diesel Nation, continuously all of her knowledge, and I'm really poured herself into the team. We've spent a lot of time together on trips and in Miami when we've been there together. But she's an amazing person. A fairly new superstar. That's the highest rank that's recognized within Beachbody. But she's also sponsored 22 lifetime diamonds. And so this is something that I know that she is a great leader. She has a great heart, and she really takes pride in what she does. The other day, I think it was 3 weeks ago, Christina Delgado, which is my coach's sister and co-founder of Diesel Nation, she spoke on the National Wake Up Call. If you did not listen to that call, please make sure you go in and do that. And actually, out of the kindness of her heart, she uploaded it to Christina's YouTube, so you can be able to listen to it on Christina's YouTube channel without going through all the recognition and everything. About 20-minute call. But Christina talks about how Shay really helped us, and one of the biggest mistakes Christina made when she first became a coach is she just loved Shakeology and had great results, and she was proving the product works, but she didn't know anything about Shakeology. And Shay, the one who really helped us. I remember when she did, it was the first webinar I was ever on, was one that Shay did. And I thought about it today. We went to the Young Living booth in the same event exhibitor part where Chris and I were today. And there was one that was telling us about how great the Stress Away was. And the first thing I asked them was, what's in it? And there was 3 people behind there. They couldn't even tell me. They had like a whole lot of talk, like deer in the headlight. Like, you know, I mean, obviously if it works, I believe in essential oil. It smelled great. They didn't know. And so those are those things that I think become every coach's fear, that they don't know anything about a product. And so you don't feed into your biggest fear of not knowing what to say by not doing your own research. So today, Shay is going to talk to us about Shakeology.
And I was going to throw in one point about Shakeology. It only takes 5 minutes to learn an ingredient each day. So in 2 months, just over 2 months, you can actually know every ingredient for 5 minutes a day.
Yeah. What else was it? That's it. Yeah. Oh, and so Shay really helped me whenever we did the first webinar, and I know it's a huge, and she's known within the organization nationwide for being, you know, the Shakeology, one of the Shakeology gurus. So I'm gonna turn it over to her, and she's gonna be highlighting how it can help your business and how you can learn more about Shakeology.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mindy and Chris. Woo, I just got big. Hang on, let me switch it back to gallery. Oh, I can't. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I like seeing everybody's faces. All right, I will ask, if you guys are calling in from a mobile device, make sure you're muted, because mobiles tend to pick up a lot more background stuff, and you hit your face off of mute sometimes. That just makes it easier for everybody to hear, and there's less feedback. Okay, all right, so thank you very much, Mindy and Chris, for having me on the call. I'm super excited to share with you guys a little bit about myself and my story, and give you guys some great takeaways and some perspectives and insight on Shakeology, and why, first and foremost, it's so important for your business. And so for a lot of you, you probably think, oh, you know, I don't understand it. It makes it so hard, but I'm going to help break it down so that you become very passionate and are very excited to share it with people. But I will say this, it's going to take you all elevating your product knowledge to become savvy about it, so that you're not the person behind the desk that she was asking, saying what's in it, and you're like, I don't know, it just makes me feel great, you know. You want to have a positive posture and feel very confident and knowledgeable on the product you're offering and asking somebody to put in their body. So with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I started in July of 2011, so almost 4 years ago. I was actually a customer for a year drinking Shakeology before I became a coach. And my upline sponsor had kind of breadcrumbed to me the opportunity. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just drink it. I'd rather just pay, you know, the full price, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had a lot of perceptions of what an MLM was. I thought it was like the people that gave me the heebie-jeebies most of the time. I didn't realize it was as amazing as Beachbody was. So it took me a year to join. I also thought Shakeology was a saturated market. That was one of the perceptions that I had on why I didn't join either. I thought everybody knew about it. Everybody was drinking it because I saw it on social media. Once I became a coach, and my aha moment was realizing that a lot of people did not know about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to scream about this product from the rooftops. People have to know about it. So that drove me. Somebody's got some like bongo drums going on or something. It's a great tune, but it sounds like they got a belly dancer in their bedroom. Good for you. Okay.
Shay, hold on. I went to mute everybody and I accidentally muted you. I apologize. Just 1 second. I'm trying to get it. How do you do it, Chris? Sorry. There's always some sort of.
Hold on, Shay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There you
You're
go.
good to go.
Hear me? What was the last thing you heard me say? Okay, I'll share a little bit about my story. So back before Beachbody, after my third child, and I shared this on the national call. If you guys had heard it, I'll just recap it real quickly. But after I had my third child, I was 37 years old. I had about 30 pounds to lose. And, you know, I tried going to the gym. I had tried things that worked in the past. And for whatever reason, they weren't working anymore. And I was getting really frustrated and really desperate. So I ran into this guy at the gym. He told me about HCG shots he was doing through this doctor's office. Long story short, I did these shots for like 12 days. And my husband made me get off of them because I was having raging mood swings. And that was the end of that. I kind of begrudged him because I lost 12 pounds at that point. I was losing like a pound a day. And I really could care less like how much of a raving bee I was losing weight, right? So we've all kind of been there. You're desperate. You're seeing results. You're like, awesome. I don't care if I'm like rip-roaring through my family. 6 months later, and of course I gained all the weight back because when you're eating like 500 calories a day, you're screwing up your metabolism. And so when you go back to even 1,000 calorie a day diet, which is still not enough, you're of course going to gain the weight back. So I gained everything back, and it was of course his fault because he made me get off the shots. 6 months later, I went in for an annual mammogram, and I had a quarter-sized tumor in my right breast. And I actually thought they messed my results up because a year before I was completely clear. I do breast self-exams, doesn't even run in my family. I'm like, no, this can't be right. I was shocked, and that it had grown to the point that it had. I mean, it was huge. So it was so big, they had to surgically remove it. So I went to a hospital up in Gainesville, Shands Hospital. I went under surgery. They cut the thing out, and they sent it off for biopsy. Talk about having like a year-old baby at home, and my husband's my second marriage, like thinking my life was finally perfect. And I totally freaking, I have this happening now, and what was my demise going to be? It's really scary. And so I started, you kind of feel out of control at that point. You feel like everything's out of your hands. You just got to wait for these results. So I tried to do everything I could to take some type of control. So I started researching. And to be honest, I didn't even connect the dots with the HCG until I had gotten to that point. I had read something like chemicals are Viagra to cancer cells. And I was like, wow, like what chemicals? And I started researching HCG, and I found so many studies where monkeys and rats and, all the animals had exacerbated breast cancer in these animals. And I was like, oh my God, I probably totally caused this myself because I was so ignorant to what I was putting in my body. I just wanted to be thin. I didn't care. And look at what I may have possibly done. So that catapulted this whole thing on chemicals and what they do for your body and how they can manipulate you to lose weight, but what they do to your internal ecosystem wreaks havoc. And a lot of them cause cancer. They cause Alzheimer's. They cause so many diseases. They cause you to be hungrier. It blew my mind when I started to lift up the rock and see what was underneath when it came to chemicals. So my biopsy came back normal. It was a benign tumor. And at that point, I made the decision. I'm like, you know what? How many people out there are like me who you just think because a doctor prescribes it, it must be fine. The FDA approves it, it must be fine. And you realize, that's not the case. A lot of things, that's a whole nother conversation. But we realize we don't question what we put in our bodies. And for me, it's part of my why is I was so angry at myself for not doing my diligence that I wanted to be that voice for everybody I could speak to and talk to about how you really should lose weight and how important not eating and putting chemicals in your body was. So then I came across P90X. I came across Shakeology. I researched the crap out of Shakeology, obviously, before I started drinking it. And that's when I really fell in love with the products and what was in Shakeology. It blew my mind that all of this stuff was literally in one product, and it was done in a way without all the chemicals, especially the main ones, which I'll share with you, weren't in it.
Oh, please.
So someone's not on mute. So anyway, So that's a little bit about how I came to be as passionate as I am about Shakeology. Now, can I say it was the HCG that did it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. To me, the end result was what got me here and got me to this point. So one of the things I hear, and I'll talk about some of the mistakes I see coaches make. When you think about fitness, right? Fitness you can measure. You see a before, you see an after picture. So it's so easy for those of you that are new coaches to say, oh, I'll just talk about the fitness because I can post some transformation pictures up there. They can see I've lost 15 pounds and it's easy. Shakeology is subjective, right? Because you can't say, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. You have to paint that picture. It's subjective. So a lot of new coaches steer away from talking about it because they don't know really how to share it. It's not a picture they can throw up there. So one of the things with Shakeology, one of my first tips I want to share with you guys is find a way to tell your story and paint that picture to people on what it does for you, how it makes you feel, how it's made people feel in your family. Has it lowered their cholesterol? I have a story pretty much for every disease state of somebody I know or family that I can share if someone's got high cholesterol, if they've got migraines, if they've got depression. I have a go-to story to share. So you guys may not have stories yet, and that's okay. But if you Google Shakeology and maybe a certain disease state, you'll probably find testimonies out there. Chris may have some on his site. I have a ton of them on my site. So, but knowing those stories and how to share, but starting with your own story. So getting past the fact that it's not this visual sale. It's a sale that's going to elicit emotion. Okay. Here's the other thing. There's really no such thing as bad fitness, right? So if you guys are focusing on the fitness programs, how many fitness programs are they going to buy in a year? You're not going to retire selling fitness programs. You need a continuity product. You need something that's ingested that they need to refill every 30 days that they can't live without. And not because you say so, because they drink it because they want to drink it, because they know the value in it. And that's where your job comes in as a coach. So think from a business standpoint, how strong Shakeology is for your business. Number one of the mistakes I see coaches make is they just focus on Success Club. I sell the challenge pack, I get my 2 points, peace out, just cancel it in 30 days. Buy packets, sell the packets off. No. If you invested $100,000 into this business, would you have people just like take test drives on a car and not bring the car back or not buy the car? Look at this as your business, folks. If you're truly in this business to help people live better and healthier lives, as the mission statement says, why wouldn't you have them put something in their body that makes everything easier, right? They can get fitness anywhere. I don't care if they go do CrossFit. Go do CrossFit all day long and blow your shoulder out. I don't care. But drink Shakeology, right? Go run marathons, go hike mountains, go whatever I don't care. Do Beachbody in between. I don't care, but drink Shakeology. Because then they're going to continue to stay on it every single month. And when they believe in it, they're going to get their spouse to drink it. They're going to get their kids to drink it. We go through 5 bags a month. Because who am I to drink it and not let my family drink it, right? It's like on the airplane. Like, I'm not going to take the oxygen for myself. I'm going to put all these nutrients in my family's body as well. When you're that passionate about it and you can share that with people, they're going to be like, yeah, like they'll feel your belief and your passion behind it. Sometimes that alone will sell it. And as you guys are starting out, don't think, well, I'll just sit back and wait another 70 days till I research all 70 ingredients and then I'll get started. No, start sharing your passion about it now, because literally you can sell so much just off your passion about the product. So back to the business thing. If you lay the foundation at first, so I get people on the phone and I ask them a series of questions, and I'll share my video because it's unlisted, but I'll share it with Mindy after the call. I've got a list of questions. It's 15 questions. People don't ask them all 15 questions. They'll run away. But watch the video. Pick 3 questions that make sense to you and have those be your go-to questions when you're talking to people. My favorite one I'll use, and I'll share it, and I'm going to share this at Summit. If you're going to my webinar, you'll hear this at Summit, but you'll get to hear it here first. My favorite one is, tell me what's worked for you in the past that's not working now. Because a lot of these people, they may say, you know what? I'm 40 years old. I've not been thin since I was 15. I've never been thin. Or they may say, I was thin before I had my kids, but now I don't have time. Or I don't have, I don't have the money to make meals. I'm too tired at the end of the day to work out. I'm trying to think of all the reasons. There's tons of reasons why something worked. I don't really care what they did in the past. It's not working now. They're talking to me for a reason. They need a solution. That's really all that matters. And what you want them to say is everything, all their excuses, because their excuses are now opportunities for you to say why you have the solution. You don't have time. It takes 2 minutes a day to make Shakeology. You can do a 30-minute workout with 21-day fix. You got this. You can't afford it? Tell me what you spend on average per meal. $3 to $7? Yeah, probably $3 to $7. Great. This is $4 a day, and it includes your vitamins, and you're subsidizing your groceries. You're not adding it to your groceries. So this is on the low end. This is going to save you money. How often do you get sick? I'm too sick to work out. Tell me what kind of meds you're on. You guys don't have to ask that. That's sort of, but those of you that have been drinking this long enough know, like, how often do you get sick now? And if you do get sick, how long does it last? They're going to save money on medications, taking time off of work to go see a doctor, sit at a doctor's office for who knows how long past their appointment time, their kids, and how often their kids get. I mean, you can literally make a huge list of expenses that it takes when you're not feeling great. And the stuff in Shakeology, these people have no idea what's in it, but if they drink it and just trust the process for 30 days, they'll feel the difference. And they'll save money. So I ask usually 2 or 3 questions that lead me to filling in the blanks and their problems where I offer the solution. Okay. So Success Club, back to the Success Club. This is what it also means for your business, right? I'm going to bring all this back to your business every single time. You're going to get residual income because every single time that coach or that customer renews their Shakeology, of course, you get $30. How is that conversation going to look when they start having their spouse on it? And now you're saying, you know what? Let's talk about you being a coach. You love this product. That conversation, it's not like you're like, oh, you want to be a discount coach and then you can save on something you don't really drink, right? That doesn't work. If they believe in it because you've done your work on the front end, it makes so much more sense for them to be like, yeah, and I'll buy more bags. And I love it so much, I'm probably going to tell people. So what's that do for your business? It's going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to save you from running around filling in inactive coach spots. I still have coaches that go inactive. I'm not going to say it's seal proof, but I have far less chasing around of inactive coaches than I see a lot of other people. So you're going to build a solid business. You're going to be able to hold rank. And the time you're spending finding and chasing new coaches to get people active, you could have spent on the front end getting them to believe in the product so you don't have to chase them. So choose your time. Here's what else it's going to do. Everything in this business has to be duplicated. So your people are going to duplicate exactly what you've done with them. So if you tell them, buy a challenge pack, cancel it in 30 days, just become a coach, whatever. When you have 12 coaches, what are all of your 12 coaches doing? Is that the kind of business you want? Or do you want a business that they're like, you know what? When Mindy talked to me about Shakeology, I was so freaking pumped. I drink 2 bags a month. I want to be a coach. And everybody I talk to, they're going to do the same thing you emulated. So then that whole wave of people, look at Christoph Field's one of my coaches. Like, he knows it better than I do. So they will duplicate what you do. Smart business. You don't want them test driving a car and not buying it. Okay. So, why do we not position Shakeology for weight loss? Anybody want to take a guess? Go ahead. You can take yourself off mute.
Because then what happens when they reach their goal? Then they're done with it.
Exactly. Right on the nose. You back yourself into a corner. How many people need to lose weight? A lot. But how many people are skinny, smoke cigarettes, take ephedra, whatever else they do, and they're sick on the inside? What about those people? Are they going to drink Shakeology if you position it for weight loss? They got their solution. They drink their coffee, smoke their cigarettes, right? But they're sick all the time. They can't go to the bathroom. Their skin looks like hell. I can name tons of things that's probably going wrong with them on the inside. So when you guys position Shakeology just for weight loss, number one, you're minimizing your market to this much. People are going to stop drinking it once they've hit their goal weight, right? Just like Michelle said. You want people to realize this is not a weight loss drink. This is a freaking health drink. You need to put it in your body. It's your best insurance for health. You want insurance? Drink Shakeology every day. I'm not perfect. I don't eat perfect. I drink wine. I go out. But you know what? I will never stop drinking my Shakeology, because at the very least, I put that in my body, and it's my insurance for the day, that at least it gives my body a fighting chance with everything it needs. So that's why you don't want to position it for weight loss. Can people lose weight? Yes, but you know why they lose weight? They lose weight because they have more energy. So they do more. They exercise more. They recover from their workouts better, because their body's functioning the way it should. They go to the bathroom better. They've cleaned out all that crap in their intestinal system. Pardon the pun. They go to the bathroom better. They're not sick as often. They have less cravings. So when you give your body the nutrition it needs, all cravings are, folks, and tell this to your customers, all cravings is your body's way of screaming for nutrients. I need more nutrients. I need more vitamins. You're not giving me enough vitamins. You're giving me calories. You're not giving me vitamins. And we manifest that as cravings. I need more food. I'm hungry again. I'm hungry again. When you give your body what it needs, no cravings. How many people have drank Shakeology for 7 to 10 days and they're like, oh my God, my cravings have gone away? That's why, because they're giving their body what they need. Weight loss becomes a byproduct of drinking Shakeology. You take care of your body, you give yourself good health, you give it the right nutrition, you'll lose weight as a byproduct. Not the other way around. And every other shake out there cannot tote the health advertisement like we can. Everybody else has something I can poke a hole in. I can't poke a hole in Shakeology. So if I can't poke a hole in it, trust me, nobody else can either. Own this product, be proud of it, freaking, like anything somebody says to you, I got an answer for. Trust me. There is nothing someone can jam me up on that I won't have a very confident answer for. And you guys will get to that point. I didn't know anything about it 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. But the more you learn, the more exciting and passionate it'll become, to where I cannot believe people don't drink it. Like, it pains me when someone cancels Shakeology. Like, I feel like I failed them. I want to pick up the phone and be like, are you freaking nuts? I don't care what else you're doing. You need to at least do this. Okay. So taking time on the front end will create residual income and duplicate a stronger foundation in your team on the back end. Position Shakeology first. Don't sell the fitness program. You sell Shakeology and go, oh, and for 10 extra bucks, you can get a whole program. Or go do CrossFit. I don't care. Just drink your Shakeology and get all your CrossFit friends to drink it too, right? Shakeology always comes first because that's our continuity product. That's the one they have to keep refilling. Okay. All right, I'm going to tell you the 3, actually 4 ingredients you never want to see in a shake. And I have a video on this, so you can write it down, but I have it on, there's a video on my YouTube, and it's called How to Find a Good Health Shake. Nothing should have artificial sweeteners. So I'm going to drop a bomb on some of you guys that maybe you're drinking Diet Coke or drink artificial sweeteners or put Splenda in your whatever. Okay. Besides artificial sweeteners being carcinogens, I don't want to go down that road because it's kind of dark and not fun. I'm just going to talk on the weight loss level. What artificial sweeteners do is they increase, so number one, they increase your carbohydrate cravings. So people here are drinking these Diet Cokes and increasing their carbohydrate cravings so that they're hungrier more, and it's making it harder on themselves. Why? If anybody cares about the science, why? Because you're drinking artificial sweetener with 0 calories. Your body doesn't know there's 0 calories. It's getting something super sweet, so it triggers your pancreas to release all this insulin. So now you've got all this insulin running around your body with nothing to deliver to your cells. Insulin increases your carbohydrate cravings, makes you put on weight. That's why it happens. Artificial sweeteners won't let your body let go of fat. It like sucks in your fat storage. You don't release fat. So you can work out all day long and do artificial sweeteners and your body is resistant to let go of the fat. I'm trying to think of the third reason. I'm totally drawing a blank. It'll come back to me. Okay, the next one is high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is the equivalent. So you'll have all these like people in the Midwest, those of you in the Midwest, don't shoot me, but like these corn farmers, and they're like, corn's good for you, it's great, and it is, in its pure state, right? But that's like saying cocaine's good for you, because what they've done is they've taken if you took the leaf and you ate the cacao leaf, whatever, you'd be fine, but you break it down into such, not the cacao, but the cocaine, you break it down into such a concentrated form, it becomes cocaine, it becomes lethal. And it becomes addictive, right? That's the same thing they've done with high fructose corn syrup. They've taken the corn and they've shrunken it down to such a tight molecule, to such a concentrated that it's extremely sweet. It becomes addictive, and it helps the shelf life of products so that food makers can manufacture something and it lasts 6 months, a year, sometimes several years. Great, whatever. What does that mean for weight loss? This is what it means for weight loss. When you drink, high fructose corn syrups and everything, it's in ketchup, it's in soda, it's in everything pretty much. Anything that has a shelf life. You drink high fructose corn syrup, let's say. There's a hormone in your gut, in your abdomen called leptin. And when you're full, when you eat, you're full, leptin gets released to your brain. It tells your brain, hey, Shay's full, stop eating. Stop eating, full, okay? High fructose corn syrup reduces and it starts to slowly eliminate a leptin production in your gut. Think about that. So what do we start doing over time? Think about how many ingredients that are diet products that have high fructose corn syrup and artificial sweeteners in it. And we wonder why we can't lose weight. When we're drinking diet sodas, eating diet salad dressing, eating low-fat this, because it's got these chemicals in it that are working against us. On top of that, artificial flavors is the other one. Artificial flavors, not so much for weight loss, but it really, it inhibits your focus, your concentration, your skin tends to get drier, but really the focus is what's really tough with artificial flavors. And that is in a lot of stuff, because diet food, everybody says tastes what? Crappy. So they put all these flavors in it. People don't even know what a freaking strawberry tastes like. They think they know what a strawberry tastes like. So when people tell you Shakeology tastes bad, that's because they're used to what a fake flavor tastes like, because all these shakes have fake flavors in them. So tell them, you know what? I understand why, but it's completely natural and your taste buds will adapt. And as they adapt, you'll start appreciating what real whole foods taste like. And diet foods won't taste gross. They'll taste amazing. Food will come to life. Fruit will taste like candy at that point because you're not saturating your taste buds with what foods should taste like. Makes your job easier if you understand that. The last thing is soy. Soy is a really cheap filler that are in a lot of these shakes, these whey protein shakes. It's stupidly cheap, highly refined, and is shown in many, many studies to increase estrogen levels linked to a lot of diseases, most particularly breast cancer, because it increases the estrogen levels. Anyway, I'm not getting into all those 4 ingredients in depth, but just know from a surface, if any product someone tries to come at you with and say, oh, well, how does this compare to Shakeology? It's $2, yours is $4. Yeah, because it was made like a $2 freaking shake. They put all this cheap ingredients in it. It's got artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup, and soy. That's actually expensive for $2. It should be like 50 cents, right? You guys won't remember all this all in one go, but these, when you understand simple food chemicals and what they do and how the food industry and all these other shake companies put into these products, and then they have the nerve to compare their product with Shakeology, it's laughable, especially on price. Okay, so here are my tips. When you start, it literally, like Chris said, it takes 5 minutes a day to understand and to just start learning. I would start with the big categories. So Google adaptogens, Google phytonutrients, Google digestive enzymes, like the big ones, not all the superfoods within them just yet. Start with the big categories and see what those do. Like, you'll be amazed when you read through a couple things on what those products, what they do. Then the superfoods are what fit into those categories. And you'll be like so much more appreciative of what the shake can do. Now, I would not get into conversations with your customers about ashwagandha and maca root because they're going to think you probably wear Birkenstocks and like live in the woods. Don't bother. Not that if any of you do, that's totally cool. But that's not a mainstream conversation. That's definitely more of like a high level conversation if it matters. But when you understand the power of what is in Shakeology and what it can do for people, and someone says that they've got a certain health issue, you'll be able to say, you know what, go Google chia seed and Google maca root, and you'll see that these ingredients are in Shakeology and they may help you. So that's how you would use it. Okay, where can you learn about Shakeology? Your back office, if you go to your back office, it's going to have the whole product training and videos. That's where I started. Was just with that. I watched the Darren O'Lean videos and all those. The doctor's video is awesome. The 14-minute one. Awesome video. And that's a really good one to share with like people that really care and want to know what's in it. I'll send Mindy my probing questions. Those are good questions just to get people started in talking about what they're trying to accomplish. Because you want to focus more on what's breaking down on the health side, not on the weight loss side, on the fitness side. There is a specific FAQ just for Shakeology. There's the regular coach relations one, but then there's one just for Shakeology. The only problem with that one is it gives you a very corporate legal answer. There's no gray area in that, but it gets you a good start. Another one you can use is you can use my website, because I've gotten probably hundreds of questions over and over again, the same ones. And I started just taking them and writing the answer out once beautifully. And I would throw it on my website. So you could use my website's Stanford. It's my name. But you can use the search tool and type in depression, and I'll have an article on Shakeology and depression. Or what about the made in a shellfish, allergy, nut allergies, all those little goofy questions you get. A lot of them I've already put on my website, so you can just literally read the answer and verbalize it to someone or send it to them. You don't have to, don't write me and ask me. I had someone I hope you're not on this call, but I had someone message me on Saturday. Sorry to bother you on your vacation, but can I give Shakeology to my dog? He's really sick. I was like, what? You did. Like somebody just really wrote me and asked me that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so those are places that you can go. I see Mindy and Chris laughing. I know it wasn't you two. But those are places you can go. And then really just things that you don't understand or don't make sense, Google them. Honestly, that's all I did. Every time something didn't make sense or I needed to understand more about it, I would Google it and figure it out. But my website, the back office, a lot of the videos, and that Shakeology FAQ are really, really good places to start. All right, so I'll open it up for an FAQ if you like, if you guys have any questions or anything. Mindy, I'll let you.
Shay, just to let you know, that was me that asked that question.
I know it wasn't you.
Somebody asked here about the leptin. Is that how you pronounce it? Leptin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you get it back once it started to be depleted? Can you get it back?
Yes. So the miracle thing with our bodies is anything that happens to it, your body wants to heal itself. With anything, it wants to continually heal itself. The problem is we don't ever get a chance to because we keep putting more crap into it. But you think about smokers, they stop smoking, their body will try to even clear the lungs out over time. But yeah, you will eventually start reproducing leptin again. But you see why, like, as America, we're so overweight because we down diet products constantly, and people don't even pay any attention to what's in them.
One of the things that I wanted to say too is that, yeah, I thought about this as Chris and I were at the event today, the health and wellness event. People who actually had not heard of Shakeology would come up and say, well, so what's Shakeology? Everybody's heard of P90X and Insanity, or most people have. But the biggest thing that I thought about was that I have the same exact verbiage every time. And I think about how I think Danielle Tony said years ago on one of the national wake up calls about having your 2-minute elevator pitch about your story or whatever it is. But if you always say the same thing, you aren't struggling for words. You're not sitting there with deer in the headlights. Look, you're not sitting there after you're done with the conversation thinking, man, I should have said this. So I always say that basically same exact thing. And it is evolved because obviously I've become more knowledgeable and educated on Shakeology, which I was on some of your very first webinars, and I know that your knowledge it changed greatly and improved. So I know it doesn't say the same, but one thing that I want to tell all of you who are on this call or watch the recording later on is make sure that you sit down and have something you have to say. It doesn't have to be scientific. It doesn't have to list out all of the benefits and all of the ingredients, but have something you always say so that it's in your mind that you answer the same way. And for me, the way I position Shakeology and how I market it and have my little elevator pitch on that is based on all of the objections I've heard from other people. I start off adding in that, a lot of people think that this is a protein shake. So the thing is, set yourself up so that you do not, leave an open door for a lot of objections, because we all heard this, and no is very discouraging, especially if you're a new coach. So make sure that you're already gearing up and smashing those objections before they even get started, and then you say it with confidence. And one thing that I always see is people said Shakeology is really expensive, and most objections are just a test for you, and people are really seeing it. And the biggest mistake coaches make is, oh yeah, I know it's expensive, but, and I would say, well, no, actually it's not. Let me show you how this saved money for me. It, it's not added on top of my grocery bill. It is used, as part of my grocery bill basically. And it helped my husband get off of, Nexium, Prilosec, and, I can't remember what the allergy medicine is. I just drew a blank, but I was like, that was over Allegra D, over $100 worth of, prescription medications there. And so I say the same thing. And then I talk about how we had 5 kids, and we've had 2 ear infections and 1 stomach flu in 3.5 years, and that's no coincidence. So the thing is, make sure that you are not provoking objections, and that you are heading them off before they even get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when people say, oh, I already have my own protein shake I make, I'm like, oh, I kind of, if you guys, I'm kind of a smart ass, so, but I'll be like, are you protein deficient? And people get like, Well, I don't know. Like, I was just told by my trainer to drink. Like, they just drink something because they think that's what they're supposed to drink. And so, have confidence and be like, you know what, more people are nutrient deficient. What you need is something that's got nutrients and vitamins in it. This is the equivalent of 5 plates of salad.
Somebody said,
It's not just protein. Go ahead.
I have a friend whose son has Graves' disease. Is there something I can tell her about Shakeology for him? He's having his thyroid destroyed tomorrow.
I actually don't know much about Graves' disease.
Okay. Then somebody said, I've heard many times that it is tacky to post a Shakeology shake picture and that I should say meal replacement or health shake. How do you feel about that? What's the best way to share it on social media?
Okay, good question. I'll tell you who I share. You know how in the Shakeology box you get the little thing with the customer, 76% of people, whatever, feel this or lost that. I will use some of those in my posts. So what I tell my team, don't ever just post a picture like, hey, like that, because that doesn't create any value. So, and this is where, as you guys learn some of these ingredients, you'll be able to really like freaking have some awesome posts. So you'll understand more about it and you'll put some kind of value on there. So you can start with some of those percentages with the customers, 76% of people, blah, 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 by drinking Shakeology with a picture of you and your Shakeology. Another one is like holding it up and like 5 plates of salad, drinking my 5 plates of salad, things that are taglines for Shakeology, but using them into your personal posts.
And as far as social media goes, it's one thing that I share with my team over and over and over again. And this is something that I've learned as being a coach, that I was one of those tacky people on Facebook, but I rarely use any of the graphics that come off of Team Beachbody 411 page or the back office, maybe logos, but I always personalize it. And, and I never copy and paste. And that's what I was going to say, is that I'm the same way. I get asked the same questions over and over and over and over again. So I have stuff on my blog where you're not, because I think whenever you ask a question, the first time you go into great detail, and after the 100th time of being asked, you condense it, and it's the value and the knowledge and the time you take is not as great. So I have it on my blog because it saves time, saves frustration, and then it can refer people to it. So the thing is, if you get asked questions, make sure that you're not copying and pasting stuff from my blog, Shay's blog, anybody else's blog, that you're taking time to read it, put it in your words, because number one, people are going to know that, and you're not learning anything about Shakeology yourself if you're copying and pasting somebody else's words. And also, if you're copying and pasting somebody's words, putting it in your own post, you really sound like, I always tell people, a lot of the coaches I see all the time, they look like a ShamWow commercial. It looks like they have copy and pasted the technical verbiage, and it's nothing personal. People don't want that. And then you become exactly what you were afraid of being a tacky salesman on Facebook. So, just put it in your own words and share your story as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things I would say too is keep it simple. Like, don't over explain it. If anything, I tend to under explain it, so people think I'm not really I'm like not all jazzed up to sell them. Like, oh, it's the most healthiest thing I drink every single day. I like almost like underdo it, so they're like, well, what do you mean? And so the more questions they ask me, it's kind of like I breadcrumb it, so I don't seem like over anxious.
Graves' disease is hyperthyroidism.
So I know it definitely helps with hypo, which is low, obviously. The thing with a lot of the superfoods is they balance your hormones. Maca root is one of them. They balance your hormones. So whether you have high or low levels, they tend to naturally even them out. So I don't know about that specifically. I just know that some of the superfoods are known to help balance any of the hormones that you have, which is why it helps with depression, which is why it helps with your insulin levels, like all of that.
Somebody said and we heard this lots, or I heard this a couple times yesterday at the event, but somebody said, if you hear somebody that says, I make their own, smoothie or shake, instead of talking about the cost objective, and I think a lot of us know about that video with Tony Horton where he's talking about, about how much maca root is, acai berry, goji berry, all these stuff. I've shared that video, but how do you go about that when people say, I'm doing my own thing?
So I'm big on answering questions with a question back. Because trust me, guys, people really don't know what they're talking about. So once they start stuttering and don't know what to say back to you, then you've just teed yourself up to be like the informant. So, I say, really, you do good. That's good that you're passionate about your health. Tell me what you put in it. And then they'll usually say banana and Greek yogurt and strawberries and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, do you put any, superfoods in it to help with your energy and your digestive system and stuff like, like I'll kind of like throw some of the things in there, because I guarantee even people that juice, I mean, they're like the most righteous people in the world. I'm a juicer. Do you juice 70 different ingredients? And you're never going to get them to stop juicing, and I wouldn't ask them to stop juicing. But what I will get them to say is look, juicing's a pain in the butt. It's expensive. It's time consuming. It's a lot of cleanup. On the days you just don't feel like it, will you drink Shakeology on those days, or add it to your juicing concoction so you get all these superfoods too? That's kind of a way I do it. Those are like seem to be like the harder people to convince.
And one thing I tell people too is that, because people have asked me about multivitamins and stuff, and the same thing with making their own is obviously you'd have to have lots of money and lots of time to concoct everything and make sure that everything is done right. But I explain to everybody where our ingredients come from are not, synthetic. They're not grown in American soil, where there's toxins and all this stuff. And I, explain them going to the grocery store, there's most foods are nutrition deficient because of that. And I talk about how, when you take a multivitamin, because people are like, why wouldn't I just take my multivitamin? I mean, everybody knows that most time you take a vitamin, you pee 30 minutes later and it's bright yellow because your body didn't absorb it. But with Shakeology, the way that it's blended, you actually are able to digest it. So I don't see any other questions, but I wanted to share the screen just to let everybody kind of know in case you are unaware of this. If you go into sales and marketing and then the business tools, and you can scroll down under product toolkits, you have the Shakeology tab there. So I really encourage everybody to take ownership of your business and be a self-starter. And, we're all here to help. But the thing is, messaging people, asking Shay, I know, has gotten some questions from other coaches that they could have found this on their own. Google is your friend, but first and foremost, always check your coach online office, because right here, there's all this information, all these tools about the ingredients and benefits, and Shakeology 101 training. She has a lot of information on her YouTube. And the thing is, she learned all this information in the coach online office was not there when she became the coach. She has all this knowledge and information because she has put her skin in the game. She has realized what asset this is to everybody that she comes in contact, and she has really seen how it would help grow her business and help the people that she has been able to help get started on their journey. So it's all there. And if you're not familiar, and I get this from coaches across the nation, I get a lot of questions from them about things that you could always find under the frequent asked questions section. Same thing at Shakeology.com. People are always posting about the concern about lead one time, or if it was really certified organic. And the thing is, you can type this in under the frequent asked questions and it will come up with stuff straight from corporate. Obviously, again, a lot of it's pretty technical, so make sure you put it in your own words, but all of this stuff is here to help you. And like I said, Shay wouldn't know this information if she hadn't have went herself. So I hope that helps you too.
Yeah, let me add two things. Any of these, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's Herbalife, Avocare, any of those. It comes down to those four no ingredients I shared with you guys. Because I'm gonna tell you, all those other crappy shakes have these in them. And you share with people why those should not be. That's fine if they want to go to Wendy's and drink something that's not healthy, but it should not be in something like called Herbalife. It should not be in something that's selling you the premises of a health shake, right? I mean, they're buying it assuming to be healthier, yet it's dumped with all these artificial ingredients. Second point I want to make, remember that you want to talk to your demographic. Talk to the audience in a way that they will understand. So if a 55-year-old woman asks you what Shakeology is and a 25-year-old woman, you're going to have very different answers. Because what's important to a 25-year-old is not probably 25-year-olds don't care about, being healthy as much as a 55-year-old does. What a 25-year-old's going to care about is that their hair is going to grow really fast, their nails are going to be strong, and their skin's going to look great. I hate to say it, but that's more of what someone in their 20s is going to be a priority. Someone in their 50s, that's not as important to them. So remember too, when you're talking to people, think about what's important to them at the age that they're at. Where's your Neil had a couple of things he was going to add that were really good.
I'm going to sit on the floor because I'm like half naked. It's like night.
Make it so much more fun.
He's actually really short.
I'll take my shorts off for you, Neil.
You know what? And this is what I learned about Shakeology is as a nation in this country, we are so easily led by media. We watch the Nutrisystem adverts, and we watch this advert, that advert, and as a nation, we're like, oh, that's great. All these people that you see, they're all paid to say what they say and to show what they show. Beachbody does not advertise Shakeology on TV, right? And this is how I take this, is the way we sell Shakeology, we don't actually sell it, we show it. We show it because we're a product of the product. We actually, we take the product, we deal with the product, we love the product, and we actually, people look at us and go, you know what? This is what works. We don't have to have billionaire whatever's on TV to show us what this product does. We show it because it's a true product. We don't have to pay people to do it. We pay a network of what we're all part of to show it. But you got to be a product of the product to realize what this actually does for us. And that's the way I kind of put it across is, you know what? You need, I mean, if you've been on the ad calls before, you need to take this stuff. Why? I don't know. It works for me. It works for me. This is why you need to be drinking this stuff. We're such a led nation over here because of media, TV, radio, whatever. You got to be doing this. You got to be doing this. If you want to lose weight, you got to put this chemical in your body, this chemical in your body. It's not like that. The way Beachbody works it with Shakeology is we show what we do. We show what we do. We're not on TV. We don't have an infomercial for Shakeology because it wants the network to go out there and actually prove what the product does. Nutrisystem doesn't do that. Weight Watchers don't do that. Shakeology does for our network.
Yeah. Thank you. Awesome.
All right, I'm going to move back out of the picture now. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks very much for having me. It was really nice to see all your faces and get to meet you guys. And Michelle, like going like this the whole time. All right. So Mindy, I'll turn it back over to you, my dear.
Thank you, Shay. Shay, I really appreciate you getting on the call. I know you're busy. You have a huge team, and I know that you jumped on from one call to the next. So I really appreciate that. And I think that that's one thing that I love about our business, our organizations. We're not cutthroat. We don't see each other as competition. I mean, I worked with 4 coaches at this event the last 2 days, and nobody was in my team or downline, upline, anywhere. We just work together, and we, you know, our family. And so thank you so much for investing in us and giving us your time. Whenever you get a chance, send those questions or whatever, the list that you had, because I know everybody would love to see it. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Next week, we have a call with Tiffany Dancy. We're going to be discussing, Brianne Wetzel. Brianne Wetzel. We're going to be talking about the power of changing your mindset and really being a positive coach that is approachable and draws people. The following week, we will not have a call because I'm going to be in Southern California filming the PIO infomercial. So stay tuned, save the date, and then the following week, we have it with Tiffany Dancy. So anyways, have a great night, guys. Stay safe. If you're in Texas, it's going to be raining heavy.
Bye, Shay. See you in a month or two.
Bye, Neil.
See you, mate.